Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Great America Show. It's great to have you with us. Happy Monday. I hope you folks all had a great weekend and your week's off to a great start. I appreciate you guys spending part of your evening with us. President Trump today absolutely unloading on the Republicans. He's had enough. Are they pushing forward his agenda or are they not? If they're not, they need to come forward and tell us that they're not. These members of Congress, these members of the Senate, so on and so forth. Enough's enough. One of the big issues President Trump has been having is with getting federal judges appointed through and getting U.S. attorneys appointed through. President Trump spoke about that in a meeting earlier today. Take a listen.
As U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey after the courts disqualified her. Do you have any comment on that?
Well, she's not disqualified. You've got a blue slip thing that's horrible. It's a horrible thing. It makes it impossible to appoint a judge or a U.S. attorney, and it's a shame. And the Republicans should be ashamed of themselves that they allow this to go on, because I can't appoint a U.S. attorney that's not a Democrat, because they put a block on it. So if you appoint in Virginia or in New Jersey or in California a U.S. attorney or a judge, I mean, a judge situation is ridiculous. The only people that you can get by are Democrats, because they will put a hold on it. If I put up George Washington and Abraham Lincoln to be U.S. attorney in New Jersey or to be U.S. attorney in Virginia, we have Democrat senators, they will not approve them. And this is a gentleman's agreement that's lasted for too long, and it doesn't make it, especially in light of what's going on today. It means you can't appoint a Republican U.S. attorney, and we don't play the same game with them, but they do. And I hope that somebody speaks to Senator Grassley about doing something about the blue slip, because I'm telling you, John, I put up great people, top people, highest education, the best lawyers to be like U.S. attorney, and both senators, it only takes one. But if they're Democrat senators, they say, we're not going to approve it. I had a couple of them say, why don't you appoint Democrats? All because Senator Grassley, with his blue slip stuff, will not let anybody go by. By the way, the Democrats have violated the blue slip provision on numerous occasions, but we don't do it. And what it means is, I guess I just have to keep appointing people for 3 months and then just appoint another one. And it's a very sad situation. We're losing a lot of great people. We have about 7 U.S. attorneys who are not going to be able to keep their jobs much longer because of the blue slip. Because unless, I think I know why they did that, to protect their ass. Okay, that's why they did that. But it should be done away with. I want to be able to appoint the most highly educated, the most respected people. They can't keep their jobs because of the blue slips. Terrible.
And there you have it, folks. I mean, this is under Republican leadership in the Senate. Now, President Trump, furious as today, Alina Habba had announced that she'd be stepping down from her role as U.S. attorney for the District of New Jersey after the Third Circuit Court of Appeals disqualified her. Trump nominee said she would still serve in the Justice Department, just in another role. Attorney General Pam Bondi said she will seek further review for the Third Circuit's ruling. Alina Habba said in a statement that her fight now stretches across the country as we wait further review for the court's ruling. She will serve as U.S. Department of Justice as a senior advisor to the Attorney General for U.S. attorneys. Now, in August, U.S. District Judge Matthew Brown, an Obama appointee, said that Alina Habba is not lawfully holding the office of U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. The Pennsylvania, take a guess of this, get a load of this. The Pennsylvania-based attorney, a federal judge rather, oversaw the challenge to Alina Habba's authority because the judges in New Jersey had a conflict of interest after they ousted her from the position as interim attorney the month prior. A group of federal judges over the summer declined to extend Habba's term as interim U.S. attorney after the Democrat minority leader Hakeem Jeffries launched a pressure campaign to oust her. Now, Habba previously resigned as interim U.S. attorney and became the acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey after Trump's DOJ outmaneuvered those judges. However, last week, the Third Circuit Court of Appeals upheld that ruling that found Alina was serving unlawfully. Now, this is all to the doing of, as you heard President Trump say that right there, of Chuck Grassley. He's the one who controls this whole damn thing. Now, those of you who are not familiar with it, and most of you probably aren't because it's such a minute detail, I didn't even know about it until, this whole thing started happening. The blue slip policy. So pretty much what it is when you appoint a U.S. attorney to those states, you get a blue slip. Each senator from those states get a blue slip, and they have to turn them back in. If they don't turn them back in, if they don't return them at all, the U.S. attorney you put forth is disqualified. And if they return them with bad marks, it's almost like a report card, they're disqualified as well. So what do you do in states like New Jersey where it's run by 2 Marxist Dems? What do you do in states like Virginia where it's run by Marxist Dems? What do you do in states like New York where it's run by 2 Marxist Dems? This is what President Trump is faced with because Chuck Grassley simply doesn't want to do his job. I just don't understand how much longer we're supposed to put up with this nonsense. John Thune, what is John Thune doing about it? Sitting on his hands, doing absolutely nothing, hoping they lose the midterm elections so he doesn't have to worry about this? Now, as of today, as of this afternoon, about 10 to 12 U.S. attorneys have been Senate confirmed during President Trump's second term. I mean, that's just unacceptable. We're just about a month and 2 weeks away from him being in office for 1 year. And this is what we're dealing with. Now, most of the other 93 positions are still filled by acting or interim appointees. So how are any of these people supposed to get a job done? Bring justice forth when it's interim after interim after interim. And if that's the case, then you know what President Trump should do? President Trump should say, the hell with you guys. That's fine. That's what you want. I'm going to put in the most far-right radical U.S. attorneys I can possibly find. Who's going to make your lives miserable, living hell. That's the game you want to play, Chuck Grassley, who's supposed to be a Republican? Nothing more than a rhino. The man can barely walk, yet somehow he's still a U.S. senator. I mean, which brings you to the next thing of term limits, which I think is long overdue. You've got Mitch McConnell who can't walk. I mean, it's sad to see that we literally treat Congress as a retirement home. We sit here and we pay these people $275,000 a year, $175,000 over a year over in the House to literally just be babysat by their staffers. Mitch McConnell is walked with his staff, like carried by his staff to go to the Senate floor. This is what we pay for as taxpayers. If that's what they want, that's fine. Then the government should be subsidizing everyone else who's in assisted living. I mean, 175, 275, 300, someone are over $300,000 a year with their stipends if they're in leadership roles. That's what we're paying for as U.S. taxpayers. We're paying for guys like Grassley to not do their job. And then, as I said, John Thune just sits there on his hands and does absolutely nothing about it. We have midterm elections in less than a year, which, according to every poll out right now, the Republicans are getting creamed. So maybe it is the case, and I've heard this from multiple people, that they like when the Democrats are in power. They don't have to make any tough decisions. Maybe it is the case that they want to lose the midterm elections. They're certainly acting like it. President Trump's agenda is gone if the Republicans lose. He'll get nothing through. It'll just be executive orders. And I mean, as we've seen how well that's worked out with these radical judges just coming after him on everything. I mean, his presidency will essentially be over. And it's just troubling to think that after what this man has went through, the hurdles and the hoops, the bullets that he's went through to get back where he is, only for guys like John Thune and Mike Johnson to just sabotage it all. It's sickening. We're going to take a quick break here, folks. If you're joining us on Rumble, YouTube, by the way, Our YouTube numbers are going up. Our followers are going up since we really started pushing YouTube. So if you're joining us on YouTube, a special thanks for you guys helping us grow our numbers over there. I think we're at like 5,000 subscribers over there, which when I started it, watched it grow from like 10 to 20 followers. It's great to watch. So everyone joining us on YouTube, we appreciate it. The OG audio guys, we always appreciate you guys joining us. And over on Rumble and Twitter, we appreciate you guys. We're taking a quick break here. On the other side of this quick break, I want to talk about the purge that's happening in Congress. President Trump weighing in on it today. Ilhan Omar running her big stupid mouth once again. And did Joe Biden's FBI know about the January 6th pipe bomber and who he was just months after that bomb was placed? We're going to tell you all about it on the other side of this quick break, folks. We're going to be back in less than 60 seconds. Please stay with us.
This past year has been one of the hardest in MyPillow's history. It's because of you that we're making it through. My employees and I want to thank you for your continued support by extending our wholesale prices on classic MyPillows. Get standard classic MyPillows only $14.98. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.98. But it gets even better. Upgrade to a queen size MyPillow for just $18.98. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows $29.98 and multi-use MyPillows for only $9.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of these wholesale prices, including my standard size MyPillow, originally $49.98, now only $14.98. Queens $18.98, Kings only $1 more. Not only that, order $75 or more, ship absolutely free. From all of us here at MyPillow, thanks America!
Thanks everybody for staying with us. YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. We appreciate you guys joining us. If you're not joining us on YouTube, just go over there and click that subscribe button. Turn your notifications on. You don't always have to join us on there, but at least give us the sub. Help us grow our numbers over there. YouTube, I got to be honest with you, has been really great with not censoring us, and very grateful with that. With what we've dealt with in the past with them, which we won't even go back down that rabbit hole, but thankful to YouTube for trying to play it at least a little bit straight this time around. So there's a purge happening in Congress. Members are retiring both on the right and both on the left. But the news story is, if you're listening to the mainstream media, legacy media, that there's a purge among Republicans. Republicans are leaving at alarmingly high rates. President Trump was asked about it earlier today. Take a listen.
And I just have a quick question. There's at least 20 House Republicans who have either said they're going to retire or not run again. Do you
And
have any
Democrats
concerns
also.
about the
And Democrats.
Right.
also.
Do you have
Well,
any?
why don't you mention them? How many Democrats are going to retire? How many Democrats?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
But
Do you
why don't you
have
tell me the number of Democrats too? You tell me
Are you
about.
concerned about the narrow margins? And
No, I'm not concerned. I think we're going to do
Congresswoman
well.
is among them, and
We will have the
Nassau
greatest
County
economy.
Bruce Blakeman, who you know as well, is considering running for
We're going to
governor.
have the greatest economy in history. How many Democrats are retiring? How come you only know the Republicans but not the
Because I
Democrats?
came prepared to ask you a question about.
No, you're unprepared because you should know the Democrats. You're totally unprepared. Go ahead.
Well, can I ask a quick follow-up
Who you with?
about?
Who you with?
I'm with New York Newsday, and I also have a quick follow-up. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is among those who is running for
She's
New York
great.
governor.
She's great.
Bruce Blakeman, who you also know
He's
is
also
Nassau County.
great.
Are you planning on making any
Well,
endorsements?
I'll think
or
about it,
any
but he's
endorsements?
great and she's great. They're both great people. We have a lot of great people in the Republican Party. Go ahead.
President Trump absolutely annihilating this woman. Now, there are Republicans leaving. I think as the list sits right now, it's 31 who have left who are leaving Congress in one capacity or another. So let's go down that list of some of these people that they're going crazy about. So you've got Matt Gaetz, and this is 31, as I said, for total for Congress. So it's people who have left already and people who will be leaving. Matt Gaetz of Florida, obviously resigning as soon as the session started. You've got Mark Green of Tennessee resigned early. Marjorie Taylor Greene, that selfish lady from Georgia, resigning early. I think someone announced today, someone pretty big, State Senator Colton Moore, announced he's running for that seat. Troy Nehls has announced he's retiring, but he won't leave early. Jody Arrington of Texas will be retiring. Mike McCall of Texas retiring. Morgan Luttrell of Texas also retiring. Don Bacon of Nebraska, praise the Lord, retiring. Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican, allegedly retiring. Joni Ernst of Iowa will be retiring. Tom Tillis, North Carolina. So if you just going past it so far, I mean, of the 10 or 12 names that I've named, how many, 5 or 6 of them are just like terrible rhinos who have done everything they can to try to stifle President Trump's agenda? Wesley Hunt of Texas is running for the Senate, so he's resigning. Ashley Hinson of Iowa is running for the Senate. So you've got some people who are seeking higher office. Now, it's not necessarily that they're retiring and they won't come back. We saw Marco Rubio when he ran for president said he would never run for Senate again, and he jumped in the race late. So you've got 31. Maybe some of them come back after, not winning their races. Wesley Hunt of Texas was running for the Senate, running against John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. So, likely not going to get the nomination when you're running up against 2 of those heavy hitters. And I'm not saying Wesley's a bad guy. It's just, how it is. So Ashley Hinson of Iowa is running for the Senate for Joni Ernst's seat. Barry Moore of Alabama is running for the Senate, another one seeking higher office. Mike Collins of Georgia is running for the Senate, seeking higher office. Buddy Carter of Georgia, another one who's running for the Senate there. Andy Barr of Kentucky is running for the Senate. The man is a total train wreck over there. A few folks joining us from Kentucky, stay far and clear of that, man. Marsha Blackburn is running for governor of Tennessee. She'll likely be the next governor of Tennessee. Tommy Tuberville is running for governor of Alabama. By the way, going back to Tennessee with Marsha running there, I think it's possible, not letting out any inside information here, but I think it's possible a friend of this show, a member of Congress from Tennessee, well, you all see on this show pretty often, something tells me I think he's going to run for that Senate seat in Tennessee, and we hope he does. He's a terrific gentleman, an absolute stand-up man. Tommy Tuberville, as I said, running for governor of Alabama, won't be reseeking office there. Elise Stefanik of New York is running for governor. David Schwetwark of Arizona running for governor there. Tom Tiffany of Wisconsin running for governor. Nancy Mace of California, South Carolina, rather, sorry about that, running for governor. Ralph Norman of South Carolina is also running for governor, and so is Dusty Johnson. He's of South Dakota, who's running for governor. So all people here now running for higher office. Randy Fenstra of Iowa is running for governor. John James of Michigan is also running for governor. John Rose of Tennessee running for governor. Byron Donalds of Florida running for governor. Andy Biggs of Arizona running for governor. And Chip Roy of Texas is running for attorney general. So you've got 31 people. I'd say 2/3 of them are seeking higher office. So as I said, a lot of times you see those people come back and, run for their seat again because they're politicians. And, they're not necessarily qualified to hold any other jobs anywhere else. They're politicians. So I'm sure we'll see out of those 31, maybe 10 or 15 of them back. So you wrote 10. So that's why President Trump went so berserk on that reporter, because it's just fake news. Democrats are leaving too. And out of that 31, 5 or 6 of them are rhinos that got to go anyway. So what are you mad about? Nothing to be mad about. I want to take one more quick break here, folks, on the Great America Show. When we return, Zoran Mandani, he's already acting up and he hasn't even taken office yet. Ilhan Omar, she's acting like a weirdo again. Jasmine Crockett announcing today she's seeking higher office as well. What could she possibly be running for? And did Joe Biden's administration know who the January 6th pipe bomber was just months after it happened? Taking a quick break. We're going to be back in less than 60 seconds, folks. Please stay with us. The Great America Show continues in just one moment. If you're on Rumble or YouTube, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. We'll be right back.
Just like all of you, I had problems sleeping. I had tried every pillow out there and nothing worked. I'd flip-flop all night, use my arm for support, and fall asleep, or I'd wake up with a sore neck or maybe a headache. Well, quality sleep comes from keeping your neck straight at night. You have to fill in that space between your head and your bed. That's why I invented MyPillow. MyPillow's patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs, and it doesn't matter if you sleep on your back, stomach, side, or any combination of all three.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night, and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get Classic King MyPillows for only $19.98. Queen size just $18.98. Standard Classic MyPillows only $14.98. That's right, only $14.98. Plus all orders $75 or more ship absolutely free.
Thanks to everybody for staying with us here on the Great America Show. Happy Monday. We appreciate you guys spending part of your day with us, as always. So Jasmine Crockett, as we're speaking about office, is seeking higher office. She's announced today that she's going to be running for, I guess, the Senate in Texas. And she's got a brilliant idea. She wants to get rid of taxes. No, not on the entire state, not for everybody there. Just a select group of people. Take a listen.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity. And I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea. But I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really, exactly.
They may want those checks like they got during COVID.
Exactly.
Yep, that's it. No tax for the blacks only. That sounds like right. That sounds like American values. And then, of course, she went to the reparations, bullshit that we constantly hear. If that's the case, I'd like reparations for the last 4 years under Joe Biden, as does every American deserve for what that man put us through. I don't know what the Democrats' game plan is. I mean, how stupid are they? Jasmine Crockett thinks she's going to win a Senate seat with rhetoric like that? Reparations, I'm sorry, not even the reparations, but no taxes just for black people. So how do you explain that to the massive Hispanic population you have down in Texas? Or how about the massive white population or Asian American population or Jewish population? It's mind-blowing to me that these people just blurt crap out of their mouth each and every day. That literally disqualifies you from holding a job anywhere. But no, in Congress or, in the Senate, it's used as a promoter to help you get to the next level. I wish I could tell you that Crockett's far from the only idiot in the Democratic Party. But I strayed this weekend and I turned on some CNN, as I usually do, to check out what propaganda they're spewing. Congressman Seth Moulton, he's got some wise words for President Trump. He says President Trump, after taking out these drug boats, he's next going to go on to kill Americans. Yeah, here he is.
I mean, look, the President of the United States and his Secretary of Defense are conducting murder on the high seas. They're committing murder, and Americans should care. Like, look, none of us like drug traffickers, but we have laws that say that drug traffickers don't get summarily executed. And if it's happening off the coast of America with people that we don't know, just give it time before Donald Trump starts doing this same kind of thing to people we do know right here at home. It matters if the President of the United States breaks the law.
So those of you folks out there who question me when I go after Rand Paul, there's my example of why. That's who Rand Paul is aligned with on these drug strikes. And we saw one over the weekend. I think it was out on the West Coast, where the Coast Guard actually pulled up to it with machine gunners out on their choppers and started taking out the engines. And I think they seized 20,000 pounds of cocaine. So I went on Twitter to troll Rand Paul to ask him if there were mostly peaceful fishermen out there. Were they using the cocaine as bait for the fish? I don't know what else it would be used for. But that's the kind of rhetoric that Rand Paul and Thomas Massie are behind. That President Trump is killing innocent people. But the innocent people who are killed each and every day from the illicit drugs on the streets, no, they're just chopped liver. Nobody cares about them, right? The people who are overdosing. Why would anyone give a damn about them? Speaking of streets, Zohran Mamdani is not yet taking the office, yet taking the oath of office. So I guess it sort of gives him free reign to say and do whatever he wants. Put out a video over the weekend letting folks know just how they could evade ICE, urging people to stand up to the feds. What does that mean, Zohran?
Last weekend, ICE attempted to raid Canal Street and detain our immigrant neighbors. As mayor, I'll protect the rights of every single New Yorker, and that includes the more than 3 million immigrants who call this city their home. But we can all stand up to ICE if you know your rights. If you encounter ICE, these are the things that every New Yorker should know. First, ICE cannot enter into private spaces like your home, school, or a private area of your workplace without a judicial warrant signed by a judge. That looks like this. If ICE does not have a judicial warrant signed by a judge, you have the right to say, I do not consent to entry, and the right to keep your door closed. Sometimes ICE will show you paperwork that looks like this and tell you that they have the right to arrest you. That is false. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask, am I free to go, repeatedly until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE, as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. It is important to remain calm during any interaction with ICE or law enforcement. Do not impede their investigation, resist arrest, or run. One last thing. New Yorkers have a constitutional right to protest, and when I'm mayor, we will protect that right. New York will always welcome immigrants, and I will fight each and every day to protect, support, and celebrate our immigrant brothers and sisters.
There he goes. Not even in office yet, and he's starting with his hateful rhetoric. So, folks, did Joe Biden and his administration know who this pipe bomber was back in April of 2021? He couldn't have, right? Because Chris Wray and the good folks over there, they would have had to come out and tell us, right? The Gateway Pundit, they do a great job. Truth, Justice, and the American Way, they're always at the forefront. Has this piece out today. The January 6th Select Committee, chaired by GOP Rep. Barry Loudermilk, posted its pipe bomb report and compared it to the affidavit released by Patel's FBI. In April of 2021, the case team identified as redacted user who was in the area of the DNC at the time the suspect can be seen on the video footage using their phone. The FBI requested and received the historical cell tower data, and he, the user, as of April 2021, the case team was attempting to further analyze the user's movements. It is ultimately unclear what happened with respect to this lead. The January 6th committee pipe bomb report read. The affidavit released by Kash Patel's revealed Biden's FBI had to have known Brian Cole was the pipe bomb suspect back in April of 2021. Quote, provider records show that Cole's cell phone connected with the provider's cell phone towers, consistent with Cole's cell phone being in the area of the RNC and DNC on January 2nd of 2021. Cole's cell phone engaged in approximately 7 data session transactions with provider towers between 7:39 p.m. and 8:24 p.m. Provider's historical cell site data shows that specific towers for each of the transactions, along with the select towers that engage in the transaction with Cole's cell phone, according to the affidavit. Now, Cole's family says that he is autistic recluse and a computer nerd who lived in the basement of his parents' Woodbridge, Virginia home. Brian Cole's grandmother told the Daily Mail that her grandson has no party affiliation and that he is not a Trump supporter. Brian Cole made his first appearance in court before a magistrate judge in D.C. on Friday. Could it be, folks? Could the Biden administration have hid that information from us? I don't know. Before we go, folks, we spoke a little bit about the House seats today and people retiring. Susie Wiles, President Trump's chief of staff, out today on a podcast, and it's apparent, it seems apparent at least, that President Trump is once again going to bail out the rhinos and the people who can't carry their own weight, which drives me nuts because I think President Trump works far too hard saving these people who don't even want to go out and campaign for themselves. Susie Wiles reiterating today, though, President Trump will be out there stomping for these folks.
He's going to have a fun next year, but we're going to put him on the campaign trail too. Typically, just a little bit of campaign speak, if I may.
Yeah.
Typically, in the midterms, it's not about who's sitting at the White House. It's you localize the election,
Right.
and you keep the federal officials out of it. We're actually going to turn that on its head.
Good.
And put him on the ballot because so many of those low propensity voters are Trump voters.
Yes, they are.
And we saw a week ago Tuesday what happens when he's not on the ballot and not active. So I haven't quite broken it to him yet, but he's going to campaign like it's 2024 again.
Oh.
For all these people that he helps. He doesn't help everybody, but for those he does, he's a difference maker. And he's certainly a turnout machine. So the midterms will be very important to us. He'll work very hard to keep the majority.
Yeah,
in the Senate.
we can't afford to have this
Cannot.
stalled.
No.
And one of the things I keep telling people, and I'm sure we're going to talk politics. I got to talk this. I am so frustrated with all of the people that gave abundantly to organizations like ours and others over the last 4 years to make sure that we won. And our objective was threefold. We didn't just want the presidency. We wanted the House. We wanted the Senate. And we were very strategic on where we went, how we focused to get those moms out. And now it's like they're all sitting on their laurels and going, "Oh, we're good." I'm like, I don't
President
think you
Trump,
realize how
he's
good
got
we
it.
aren't. And this with swipe of a pen and one election can change everything.
And the majorities in both houses.
Yes.
are so small.
Right. They are.
This is a good Senate year for Republicans. Every 2 years is what it is for House members. So there's candidate recruitment. The president started raising money for the midterms the day after the election.
Good.
And he's sitting on a huge war chest to help these people. And he'll use it. And he'll use himself and he'll use his money that he's raised, probably his money too. And nobody can outwork him. So there's every reason to be confident, but we have to actually get it done.
Yeah.
It pains me to know that President Trump will have to bail out these rhinos once again because they simply can't carry their own weight. Folks, that's all for us tonight here on the Great America Show. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Truth, justice, and the American way. Until then, may God bless you, may God bless America, and may God bless the great Lou Dobbs. God bless you, folks. We'll see you all tomorrow.